Man, these lads have not missed a beat. Yes, they. It's been many years since they were together, and they cut an album and did the creative thing. But yo, man, they hadn't missed a beat. And you know what's impressive? They are singing about things, addressing the times that they're in. You know, War Pigs was definitely addressing the times that they were in. During the Cold War, during the late 60s, early 70s, all the tumultuous periods, the Vietnam conflict, all those things, they're singing about the times that we're in the modern times now. Man, I tell you, they don't fool around with trivial nonsense. There's always something very, very serious that they've got to address, and I like that about these guys. I like the creative element and how they deliver their music and the structure of the song. As I said, I remember the first time that I picked up on the structure of a great rock and roll song was from Black Sabbath. When I heard War Pigs, I kept referring over the stretch of my whole time being a reactor. I kept going back to War Pigs as an example of a classically structured rock song where you've got um, uh, the vocal body, the music, and then you've got the musicianship stretching out the song, raising that song from a good song to an epic song, iconic song, and then it gives you time to really soak in the message of the music. And I really appreciate that about Black Sabbath, because I then took that and I recognized that structural pattern in a lot of other classic rock songs. And so this is like a science to me at times, studying the what makes classic rock so appealing, what makes it so intriguing, why it's will never leave us, why it's such a genre that everyone likes and can relate to. A part of that, I believe, is the structure of a rock and roll song. So I'm learning these things as I go, based on observation. But yeah, man, I definitely give Black Sabbath a lot of credit for my rock and roll education, not just in familiarity of the music, but also in things like, for example, structure. You know, um, yeah, these guys haven't missed a beat. This is an excellent album. This could have been a part of their string of successes when they were in their heyday. This could have been, I don't know, Black Sabbath #5 or whatever it is, within the string of their really, really great heyday. And you wouldn't have really missed much, Yeah, it doesn't sound like there's a lot of changes. I can tell that there's a different drummer, but only slight. He's a great drummer though, but I know that it's not Bill Ward. That's the only difference. All right, man. Hey, this is the end of side 2 then. Let's go into the review and let's see what we can learn about this album and how it came about, what it means, all of that good stuff, man. Um, all right, yo, okay. Yeah, man, holy, there's a lot of information. Yeah, you know what? Let's do this. Let me read the top intro body, which is a massive paragraph. And then, yeah, okay, and then let's skip all the way down to critical reception, and they won quite a few awards. All right, so we'll check that out too. So yeah, let's start with the main body, 13, Black Sabbath 13. 13 is the 19th and final studio album by English heavy metal band Black Sabbath. The album was released on the 10th of June 2013 in Europe and the 11th of June in North America via Vertigo Records and Republic Records in the US and via Vertigo Records worldwide. According to bassist Geezer Butler, the title 13 comes from the record company pressuring the band to write 13 songs, but they wanted to stop at 10. I hate to disappoint a whole bunch of people in judgment. Oh, yeah, you see? 13, they're evil. You dumbasses. However, only 8 tracks made the final cut. 13 is the only studio album released by Black Sabbath since Forbidden in '95, and was the band's first studio recording with original singer Ozzy Osbourne and Butler since the live album Reunion in '98, which contained 2 new studio tracks. It was also the first studio album with Osbourne since Never Say Die in '78, and with Butler since Cross Purposes in '94, the first since Never Say Die not to feature longtime keyboardist Jeff Nichols, and the first since The Eternal Idol in '87 on the Vertical label outside the US and Canada. Black Sabbath's original lineup first began work on a new studio album in 2001 with producer Rick Rubin. The album's development was displayed over a 10-year period as Osbourne was delayed over a 10-year period as Osbourne resumed his solo career while the rest of the band members went on to pursue other projects, including GZR and Heaven and Hell. When Black Sabbath announced the end of its hiatus on the 11th of November in 2011, the band announced that they would restart work on a new album with Rubin. The addition to original members Osbourne, Butler, and guitarist Tony Iommi, the band was joined at the recording sessions by drummer Brad Wilk of Rage Against the Machine and Audioslave, following original drummer Bill Ward's decision to not participate in the reunion due to a contractual dispute. I'd like to know more about that contractual dispute. If you guys know about this, let me know. Fill me in. Yeah, let's scroll down. And let's read what these wise critics have to say. Critical reception. 13 has received mostly positive reviews. On Metacritic, it scored 72 out of 100 based on 32 reviews. Fred Thomas of AllMusic praised 13, calling it unexpectedly brilliant, apocalyptic, and essential for any die-hard metal fan. Jeff Barton of Heavy Metal, or Metal Hammer, observed how the heavy metal genre had developed How the heavy metal genre had developed ever since the band originally started it, and concluded that the classic lineup of the band has proved their relevance in modern day music. Absolutely. However, 13 has been criticized for having compromised sound quality due to the overly compressed dynamic range during a process called peak limiting, which leads to audible distortion. John Hadasek of Consequence of Sound said of the production, quote, Rubin deserves disparagement for the way he mixed the audio levels, which are crushed by distortion and compression. Otherwise well-recorded songs are blemished, an affliction all too pervasive in the modern music industry, unquote. Ben Ratliff of the New York Times also disliked the album's mastering, saying, quote, the new Black Sabbath album was produced by Rick Rubin, who some believe to be a prime offender in the recent history of highly compressed and loudly mastered music, a major cause of ear fatigue. 13 is mastered loudly too. Mr. Iommi's guitar tone planes outward, leaving very little space, and the drums stay high and present in the mix. Your ears aren't given room to breathe, unquote. Wow, okay. That's critical reception. Overall, the album is liked very much, but there are some issues with production quality. I didn't hear any of that, but did you? Let me know what you think about that. Let's check out their awards. Awards and accolades. The album's lead single, God Is Dead, won Black Sabbath their first Grammy Award in 14 years for Best Metal Performance in 2014. In 2013, the album won a Metal Hammer Golden God Award for Best Album and a Classic Rock and Roll of Honors Award for Album of the Year. It also won the 2014 Revolver Golden Gods Award for Album of the Year. All right. And so that concludes Wikipedia Song Fact Info for 13, Black Sabbath's first album for many, many years with the original lineup. Hey, I said it before and I'll say it again. In my opinion, this was excellent and they hadn't missed a beat at all. musicianship wise, creatively, I wouldn't know the difference if you were to throw it in the middle of their classic era albums and say, yo, listen to these 10 albums, and somewhere mixed in is 13. I wouldn't know the difference, man. So to me, that they've reached that level again many years later. They're older and more weather beaten and whatnot, but they still have their great creative stride. So yo, 2 thumbs up for this one, man. Excellent. So Jacob, thank you very much for this recommendation. I appreciate it. Thank you for the patience too. You're a new patron and you waited a little longer than I'd like to have new patrons wait. So thanks for not pestering my ass. I appreciate that. Still running a little bit behind with my reactions. So patrons, I'm going to ask you, please do not pester me. I got your reactions coming. Don't bother me with that shit, man. What else do I have to say? Okay, so so speaking of patrons, I've got some reactions for Gavin, Jameson, Rhymes with Teeth, Jeffrey. Got reactions coming up for you lads very soon. And I'm running a little bit behind with my Led Zeppelin reactions. I was hoping to hit that up first thing this morning. It's early in the morning, Saturday before I go to work, but I have to actually bounce a little sooner. So I'll have to wait until perhaps tomorrow to get that done. And yeah, that's it for my notes, man. But yeah, again, Jacob, thanks for helping to continue my look at the Unholy Trinity and get back into Black Sabbath. I got to go back a little bit and take up from where I left off and check out. I believe that I was hitting up Black Sabbath right after the Ronnie James Dio years. And then I believe that the last Black Sabbath album that I did was the David Coverdale album, and then I got to kind of take up from there. So I got a little backtracking to do, and where it comes to Black Sabbath albums. But this was great. So jumping a little ahead was excellent, featuring Ozzy and the new drummer there, Brad Wilk. Yeah, so fantastic album, and I would definitely give it another listen, man. To me, it's just as good as their original albums. I like it that much, and I definitely like the message within the songs. They're not singing about some corny ass love songs. They're singing about some serious matters, some serious issues. To me, that's the charm of Black Sabbath, man. Anyways, you guys have yourselves a good one. Take care, and I'll catch you in another reaction. Peace.